Chapter 3, Current, Electricity. Electric current. What is electric current? The charges in motion constitute an electric current. The current electricity is the branch of physics which deals with the charges in motion is called the current electricity. Natural phenomena in which the charges they flow and form the constitute the current, that is the charges flow from clouds to the earth through atmosphere. Sometimes it becomes disasters, that is a lightning. The flow of charges in lightning is not steady. This is a natural phenomena of lightning in which the current is not steady. Then what is steady current? The steady flow of charges, that is the steady current. Current flows steadily in a torch and a cell driven clock, in which we need a steady current, and current flows steadily, that is uniformly. The electric current, what is the definition? Let us define the electric current or strength of an electric current. The rate of flow of charge is called an electric current or strength of an electric current. That is, electric current is the charge upon time. Its symbol is I. Say I is the current and Q is the charge flowing in the t second. Then I is equal to Q upon t. That is Q in coulomb and t in second. Then I will be in ampere. That is 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per 1 second. The SI unit is ampere. There are other small units also we use in our everyday life. That is milliampere, ME, microampere, mu e. The 1 ampere, if 1 coulomb charge flows past any cross section of the conductor in 1 second, then the strength of an electric current is said to be 1 ampere. Now the graph shows the steady current. A is a steady current and these are varying current, that is unsteady current. They change with the time, correct? This also changes with the time. We take the I on the y-axis and t on the time t on the x-axis, then we can see the A graph in which the I is constant throughout the time, where here it changes, increases, decreases. Here it increases but changes, not steady, correct? For a varying current, if delta Q be the net charge flowing across a cross section of a conductor during the time interval delta t, then current I is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta Q upon delta t. Now let us say our electric currents in a conductor. Number 1, there are two cases when electric field is applied and when electric field is not applied. First we will see the electric field is not applied. When electric field is not applied. In a metal, in a solid state such as a copper wire, the atoms are strongly bound to one another and occupy fixed position. Some electrons, called the conduction electrons or valence electrons, they are free to move in the body of the metal. They cannot leave, they can move within the body of the metal, but they cannot leave the surface of the metal. While the others are strongly bound to their atoms, that is innermost electrons, they are bound strongly with the atoms and they cannot leave and move freely in the conductor or in the body of a conductor. In a good conductors, the number of free electrons is very large. That is, in a 1 meter cube of copper, there are 10 to 28 atoms, or in 1 centimeter cube, there are 10 to 22. Assuming that there is only 1 electron per atom, the number of free electrons per meter cube of copper is the order of the 10 to 28, because there are 10 to 28 atoms in 1 cubic meter of copper piece. In 1 centimeter, it will be 10 to 22. 1 meter cube is equal to 10 to 6 centimeter cube. In the absence of electric field, the free electrons are in a random motion. They keep colliding with atoms, gaining and losing the kinetic energy. Their motion is due to the only thermal, that due to the temperature. At a room temperature, the thermal velocity of the electrons is about of the order of 10 to 5 meter per second. It is very high. But these velocities are randomly distributed in all directions. There is no net directed motion in any particular direction. If u1, u2, u3 and un are the velocities of individual electrons, and if the total number of electrons is n, then the average velocity of electrons is given by the equation u is equal to u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus un upon n. This average velocity is 0. That is, velocity due to the thermal agitation is 0. The net rate of flow of charges is also 0. And no current flows in the conductors when electric field is 0. That is, in the conductor, the electrons are moving with a very high speed, that is the thermal speed. In the copper, it is about 200 meter per second, correct? But there is no net flow of charges in a particular direction, hence no current flows in the circuit. Next, the electric current in the conductors when an electric field E is applied. When electric field E is applied, that is, consider this cylindrical conductor, say copper cylinder. Imagine the conductor in the shape of cylinder of radius r, this is a radius r. Take two thin circular discs of a dielectric. This is a circular disc of dielectric, one has a plus charge, plus q charge, another has negative charge. And put the positive charge on plus q on one disc and the negative charge on the another disc. There will be a potential difference. This is a positive, potential is plus, and this has a potential minus. So, there is a potential difference. So, charges will flow from higher potential to the lower potential. As water flows from a higher level to the lower level, that is potential energy of the water at higher level is more. Correct. Now, attach the two discs on the two flat surfaces of the cylinder as shown in the figure. This disc, dielectric disc you attach. An E field will be created and is directed from plus q to minus q. The electric field will be set up from plus to the minus, shown in the. So, it will attract the electrons. The electron will move in the opposite direction as shown in the figure. The electrons will move from minus q to plus q, that is from right to the left. Electric field is from left to the right, and will neutralize the charge, and this electron will neutralize the charge, positive charge they will neutralize. Right. The current will flow so long as the electrons move, hence there will be a current for a very short period. The so long as electrons, all electrons will be finished and they neutralize the charge, no current will flow. So, current will flow so long as electrons flow. Then after current, this is then after current one flow, that is current is flowing in a short while. Now, how to make up this loss of the charges, make up the loss of electrons? We have to arrange the mechanism that can supply the electrons continuously. That we can do by using the battery or cells. This battery is connected, consider the case where battery is connected with the two ends of a conductor copper. So, continuously electron will flow and charge, electric field will be set up, that is in the direction shown from, that is in the figure, that is from left to the right. This is positive terminal of the battery, this is negative terminal of battery. Electron will flow from, electric field is from positive to negative, that is from left to right. Electron will flow from right to left in the opposite direction. So, current direction is the direction of the electric field, that is of the positive charges. Positive charges are not quite mobile, electrons are quite mobile because they are lighter with respect to the positive ions, correct. So, but they move slowly. So, the current direction is the direction of the positive ion or electric field, you can say. Suppose the cylinder has length 3 meters and potential difference applied is 6 volt, then electric field setup will be 6 by 3, that is 2 volt per meter. What happens in the conductors when electric field is applied? Let us see that they will start drifting, that is drift velocity. If the ends of the conductors are connected to a battery, as we have discussed, an electric field will be set up at every point within the conductor. To the strength of electric field will be 2 volt per meter. E is equal to, electric field is equal to potential upon length of a conductor. The potential is 6 volt suppose, then length is 3 meter, then 2 volt per meter will be the electric field set up in the conductor. Thus, electrons will experience the force due to the electric field, that is F is equal to charge into electric strength, that is minus E into E capital E, in the direction opposite to that of the E field. Electrons are negatively charged particle, so they will flow in the move in the opposite direction that of the electric field. Therefore, acceleration A will be equal to E force upon mass according to Newton's second law, that is minus E upon m, that is the acceleration experienced by electron. Thus, electron gets accelerated. They frequently collide with the atom. As electrons are moving in the dense medium of solid, they collide with the atoms or ions. When free electrons leave the atom, the remaining atom becomes ion, positively charged ion. So, electron while moving, they collide with the ions or atoms of the conductor. Between two successive collisions, an electron thus acquires, in addition to the thermal velocity, a velocity component in the direction opposite to the electric field E. The gain in the velocity is a into time. The tau, a tau, that is where tau is the time interval between the two successive collisions. Thus, in the presence of the electric field, the velocity of the electron is equal to thermal velocity, velocity due to the thermal agitation, that is u1, plus velocity due to the external electric field supplied by battery or a cell, that is A acceleration into tau 1, where tau 1 is the time that has elapsed since the last collision. Similarly, the velocities of other electrons are u2 plus a tau 2 plus, and for third electron u3 plus a tau 3, and so on for n electron un plus a tau n. The average velocity of all the n electrons will be, say, drift velocity Vd, that is equal to u1 plus a tau 1 plus u2 plus a tau 2 plus un plus a tau n divided by number of electrons n. So, Vd, the summation of this u1, that is equal to u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus un upon n plus a into a common tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau n upon n. This average velocity due to thermal agitation is 0, as we have discussed earlier. Therefore, Vd is equal to a into tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau n upon n. This, say, average tau, then it is a tau. Vd is equal to a into tau. We know acceleration is of an electron is minus e upon m according to second law of Newton, correct. So, Vd is equal to, introduce the value of acceleration in this equation, the e upon m into tau with a minus sign, electron has negative charge, so it is minus. So, Vd is almost roughly equal to 1 or 2 millimeter per second. Compare it with the thermal velocity. Thermal velocity is very high, of the order of 10 to 5 or 6 meter per second, whereas the drift velocity is very less. Ohm's law, R is equal to V upon I, that law, resistance R and resistivity rho is equal to Ra upon L. Let us see first Ohm's law. It states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends, provided the temperature and other physical conditions are kept constant. That is, temperature is kept constant, and other physical condition, that is its length and the area is not changed, that is cross section area, and quality, that is the material of the wire is not changed. Consider this circuit. This is a battery, this positive a emitter is connected in the series. This is a resistor or conductor R or wire, you can say nichrome or costland or manganese wires are used for standard resistors. This R resistance, wattmeter is connected parallel to measure the potential difference across its ends x and y. Then this is plus and this is minus. Current flows like this, positive to negative, as we have seen earlier. Electron flows in the opposite direction, that is from negative to positive. So, this is wattmeter, this is ammeter, correct. So, according to this statement, the potential difference is directly proportional to the current flowing through the resistance. The potential difference V is directly proportional to the current I that we can measure by the ammeter connected in series. Therefore, V is equal to some constant R into I. R is the constant called the proportionality constant, and it is called the resistance of the given conductor. It is a resistance, its symbol is R. The SI unit of resistance is ohm. This is symbol, it is symbolized by this. The SI unit is ohm, and it is given after the name of George Simon Ohms of Germany. From the equation 1, we have R is equal to V upon I. Correct? That is, resistance is equal to potential difference V upon current I. Again, R is equal to V upon I. If V is 1 volt, potential difference is 1 volt, and current I is 1 ampere, then R is equal to 1 volt upon 1 ampere, that is 1 ohm. The 1 by 1, that will be 1. So, 1 ohm, the resistance of a conductor is said to be 1 ohm when if current of 1 ampere flows through it, when the potential difference across its ends is maintained as a 1 volt. The experiment shows that the resistance of two wires is of different materials, say copper and the silver, having the same length and diameter, that is the same cross sectional area, are different. This shows that R depends on the material of which the wire is made. Number 1. Number 2, if we take two wires of the same material and having the same diameter, that is same cross sectional area, but of different lengths, their resistance will be different. If length is double, the resistance will be double. If it is half, resistance will be half. If it is triple, resistance will be triple, and vice versa. That is, R is directly proportional to, what can we say from this, or what can we conclude from this statement? That is, R is directly proportional to length. Therefore, we can write mathematically as a R is directly proportional to L. L is the length. Point number 3, if we take two wires, that is our conductors, of same material and the same length but of different diameters. Here we are changing the area. In the first case we have changed the length. Here we are keeping the lengths and materials are the same, but area we are changing. The resistance will be different. In fact, if cross sectional area A is double, the resistance R becomes 1/2. That is, resistance R is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area A of the wire. Mathematically we can write as R is inversely proportional to A. So area is more is the area, less will be the resistance. Of area is made half, resistance will be double. Correct? From the equation A and B, we can write as R is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. Therefore, R is equal to some constant rho into L upon A. Rho is called the constant and it is called the constant of proportionality. It is called the resistivity of the material of the wire. From equation C, we can write rho is equal to R into A. Rho is equal to, take this on the side, R into A upon L. If A is 1, area is 1 and L is length is also 1 meter, area is 1 meter square and length of the wire is 1 meter, then rho will be equal to R. Correct? Unit is ohm into meter. Let us define the rho, that is resistivity. Resistivity rho of the material of a wire is the resistance R of a wire of length 1 meter and area of cross section 1 meter square. Correct? It is independent on the length and the cross section. We know that R depends upon the length. Length increases, R increases, and it also depends upon the A inversely, that is area decreases, R increases, but rho never change for so long as, or if material is the same. So if we change the material, suppose for the copper wire, the rho will not change whether the length of the copper wire is more or less, or area may be thicker wire or thinner wire. Ohm's law and conductivity. Consider an equation R is equal to rho L upon A, but V is equal to, potential V is equal to IR according to Ohm's law. So V is equal to IR and IR is equal to, R is equal to rho into L, that is I into rho into L upon A. There V is equal to E into L, that is electric field into length of a conductor, that is equal to I upon A rho into L. Correct? I upon A rho into L. Therefore, E is equal to, L will be cut, and I upon A is the current density J, that is J into rho. Correct? I upon A is the J, is defined as the J is the current density, that is the current per unit area is called the current density. Unit of J is unit of current upon unit of area, that is ampere meter minus 2. From the equation 1, J is equal to E upon rho, that is equal to 1 upon rho is conductivity, that is sigma into E. 1 upon rho is sigma conductivity. The conductivity is the reciprocal of the electrical resistivity, that is 1 upon rho is called the conductivity. Correct? The SI unit of conductivity is reciprocal of the unit of resistivity, that is 1 upon ohm into meter, that is called mho into meter minus 1. 1 upon ohm is called mho, or it is called also Siemens into meter minus 1. 1 upon ohm is called Siemens. Ohm's law is often stated in the form of the current density J is equal to sigma E, as we have seen in the equation 2. Now, drift of electrons and origin of resistivity. We know the sigma is equal to n square upon m into tau, that we want to see this equation. Consider a conductor, say copper wire PQ, of length L and of uniform cross section area A. The cross section area of this cylindrical wire is A, across which a potential difference V is applied. So electric field will be set up from P to Q. So electron will move from Q to A. When electric field is applied, the electron starts drifting towards left with a velocity, drift velocity Vd below. In delta t time, all the electrons to the right of the area will cross the length L is equal to, that is Vd into delta t. Vd is the velocity, so length covered in a unit time is Vd. So in delta t time, Vd into delta t. The volume of the cylinder of length L, that is Vd into delta t, is equal to cross section area A into length, that is Vd into delta t. If n is the number of electrons per unit volume, then there are n times the volume. This is the volume V that is covered by electron in delta t time. So n electron, number of electrons per unit volume is this. The number of electrons in this volume will be n into A into Vd into delta t. This many electrons moving in a delta t time. The charge of an electron is minus e. Therefore, the amount of charge crossing the area A in delta t time is equal to I into delta t. That is I into d is the charge. Current is equal to charge upon time. So time into current is equal to charge. That is minus e n a Vd into delta t. Therefore, I delta t is equal to minus n e a Vd delta t. Now Vd, drift velocity, we know minus e upon m into tau. Therefore, I is equal to e square. Introduce the value of Vd in the above equation. We get e square a upon m into n tau into e. Now therefore, I is equal to J into A. J is the current density, correct? So I is equal to J A is equal to e square A upon m n tau e. Therefore, J is equal to A will be cut, e square n e square upon m into tau e. But J is equal to sigma e, we have already seen as we have studied, correct? Comparing these two equations, number 1 and 2, J is equal to n e square upon m tau e and J is equal to sigma e. Therefore, sigma is equal to this one, this is equal to sigma n e square upon m into tau. This is a very simple picture of electrical conduction produces Ohm's law. Mathematical derivation of Ohm's law. We know that current I is equal to n a v d, but Vd, drift velocity, is equal to E small e into capital E upon m into tau. Therefore, I is equal to n e a into bracket, put the value n e a, put the value of Vd, that is E tau upon m, that is E square n a tau into E upon m. But electric field E is equal to potential difference upon length of a conductor. Therefore, I is equal to E square n a tau into, put the value of E in this equation, V upon L, that is upon ml. Therefore, V upon I, take this side, then change the side, is equal to ml upon E square n tau a. For a given conductor, m, E, n, tau, a, l, all are constants. That is V upon I is constant, that is the resistance of a conductor. V upon I is equal to R, constant, that is Ohm's law is proved. Again, R is equal to ml upon E square n tau into a, where m upon E square n tau is equal to rho, that is R is equal to rho into L upon a. Now mobility. Mobility mu is equal to drift velocity upon electric field. That is, mobility mu is defined as the magnitude of drift velocity per unit electric field. If V is 1, the mu will be Vd. Therefore, mu is equal to Vd upon E. SI unit is meter square upon potential, that is V volts upon into second. The Vd is equal to E into capital E upon m into tau. Therefore, mu is equal to E tau upon m. Correct? Now, limitation of Ohm's law. Number 1, the relation between I and V is non-linear. That is, V and I curve is non-linear in this portion. This is the Ohm's law, that is straight line, that is V is directly proportional to I, or I is directly proportional to V. But in this portion, it is non-linear. So this is the dashed line shows the linear Ohm's law, the solid line is a non-linear. This is the graph for a good conductor. Number 2, the relation between the V and I depends on the sign of V. If I is the current for a certain V, then reversing the direction of V, that is minus V, keeping its magnitude as fixed, does not produce a current of the same magnitude as I in the opposite direction. You can see this is a curve for a diode, PN junction diode, that is the characteristic curve of a diode. This is a forward bias current in which the current is more, here current is less. This is in the microampere, this unit is milliampere, correct. So, here in the reverse direction the current is in the microampere. So, it shows the clearly, for the conveniency it is taken a smaller unit. So, less current is produced, correct. Number 3, the variation of current versus voltage, that is number 3, the relation between the V and I is not unique. That is, there is a more than one value of V for the same current. You can see here current is the same. This is a graph for the variation of current versus voltage for a gallium arsenide. That is, here current is the same, but value of the V, here voltage is less, here voltage is more. See. Another one, this is the negative resistance portion. V increases, but current decreases.